This year, over 130,000 people in the United States alone will be diagnosed with a serious blood disease such as leukemia, lymphoma, aplastic anemia, or sickle cell disease. Thankfully, a cure exists. Because of bone marrow donors like you, many people with blood diseases are getting a second chance at life. This video will help you understand the bone marrow donation process.
It's well known that the recipient is somebody whose life is threatened by a disease that can be cured with a bone marrow transplant.
It's the best thing in the world to save someone's life. I mean, that's the greatest accomplishment you can ever have.
If I'm a match, I'm going to do it.
It's been a great experience, and I'd do it again if they call again.
This is a wonderful process.
Dr. Karina Gonzalez is the medical director of the Blood and Marrow Collection Program at the Lombardi Comprehensive Cancer Center at MedStar Georgetown University Hospital. Dr. Gonzalez specializes in hematology and oncology. The Blood and Marrow Collection Program that she oversees is the largest collection program in the country. It provides a safe way to collect disease-fighting stem cells.
Our goal is to facilitate the process, to medically care for the donor and watch for their safety during the process, and then to prepare the hematopoietic stem cell product for shipment wherever the recipient is. This can be just locally in the country, or it could be international.
Wow.
There are several steps in the process of donating bone marrow.
Here at the Blood and Marrow Collection Program at MedStar Georgetown University Hospital, we make it a really good effort to make sure we're very thorough in our health history assessment and physical examination to make sure that our donors are safe and healthy to be able to donate.
I came to the hospital, get a bunch of blood work done, physicals, everything. And then as soon as they said that was good to go, then they scheduled the chemo for the patient around the time I'm getting my bone marrow. So that way we both match up. And then I come into here and get the bone marrow taken out.
Similar to this.
Dr. Gonzalez says that potential bone marrow donors have a lot of questions, such as, how much bone marrow will I donate?
Interestingly, we take very little. It's about, I would say, 3-4% of the total marrow of the body.
Okay.
It will regenerate very quickly too.
What are the risks of infection?
We have a dedicated procedure suite. In that suite, only donors are managed. No other patient, no other sick patient from the hospital goes. It's a clean room. In that way, we tend to minimize the risk for infections.
Don't most bone marrow donations come from family members?
About 75% of the bone marrow transplants are conducted by stem cells or bone marrow donated by a stranger. The best chances of having a related donor would be a sibling, and the chances are 1 in 4.
Donors may also have questions about the person who will receive the donation. Donors may be given very basic information about the bone marrow recipient beforehand.
Tracy, you've been called to donate your bone marrow for a 14-year-old girl with leukemia.
A man in his 50s.
A boy who is under the age of 1.
Donating bone marrow is a safe and relatively quick surgical procedure. And like any procedure, there are important steps to follow in the days leading up to the donation.
There is a very intimate relationship between the bone marrow and the bloodstream. This procedure is like losing a significant amount of blood in a short period of time. That is the reason why we have asked you to take multivitamins and to take iron tablets. The other thing that we have requested is for you to donate 1 unit of blood. We will give you this unit on the recovery period,
Okay.
right after the procedure. This procedure is with anesthesia, so we need to be fasting since midnight.
Remember these steps before a bone marrow donation. Number 1. Prepare for the blood loss. Take multivitamins and iron supplements. 1 or 2 units of blood will be drawn to donate back to yourself after the procedure. Number 2. Prevent bleeding complications. Avoid aspirin or aspirin products for at least 10 days before the procedure. Number 3. Fast the night before the procedure. No eating after midnight. This includes water, gum, or mints. Number 4. Remove all jewelry, including all body-piercing jewelry from all parts of the body.
They seem to have it planned out pretty well to minimize the pain and everything, so I'm not really worried about it.
I think the program's really well organized, and I was properly prepared and informed on everything, so nothing came as a surprise or a shock. And it's a pretty easy process.
Bone marrow donors arrive a day or 2 before the donation. Travel, lodging, and food are provided at no cost to the donor, and hotel accommodations are in close proximity to the hospital.
It's kind of nice because you just show up and the cab driver knows where you need to be. You don't really have to like plan anything at all.
The donors normally fly in the night before, and I'll meet them in the morning at 6:30 a.m. at the hotel. I'll bring them over to the hospital. They fill out a little paperwork, some consents, additional consents. They get their blood drawn, their IV lines started.
Did you say you were in the military?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm a hospital foreman out of the Navy. I'm from Fort Wayne, Indiana.
I or another physician who will be performing the collection will come and meet the donor and explain what will happen.
You don't have any risk. I remember
Okay.
your throat, your exam was normal.
So are you going to be doing the actual procedure?
Giving you some medication to put you off to sleep.
And then the anesthesiologist will come and say hello and explain their portion of the procedure.
There are 2 types of anesthesia to choose from: regional, where the body is numbed from the waist down, and general, which allows the patient to be unconscious during the marrow collection procedure.
The reason why general anesthesia is the safest option is because of the position you need to have on the table, which is facing down. General anesthesia will definitely secure your airway, and I would say 99% of the donors, that's what they choose.
We're going to be using your IV, give you some medication. That'll put you off to sleep. Then we're going to be putting a breathing tube down your mouth. Once that's in there, we'll connect you to our machines, hook you up to our gases. That's what'll keep you asleep.
We go in the pelvic bone, which is the biggest bone in our body, and we remove a small amount of bone marrow. We do 2 little holes. I call them the vampire pricks. Instead of being here on the neck, they are on the back. And through these little holes, we do go in the bone and we aspirate bone marrow. The bone marrow looks like blood. It's basically blood rich in stem cells.
On average, bone marrow collection procedures last 30 to 90 minutes, and for most donors the operation goes smoothly. Once finished, a comprehensive bandage is applied.
The important thing is we are going to keep this bandage for 24 hours. It's like pretty much having a small pillow attached tightly to your back. And the reason why is because we don't put stitches. And we put this compressive bandage to address every single site, including the sites on the bone, and prevent bleeding, any complications. So what I will give you is adhesive remover, these swabs that they will help you remove that.
Okay.
You always remember that on the side of the incision I put a bandage that does not stick to the skin. So once you unstick the borders, it will come out very nice.
Immediately following the bone marrow donation procedure, you will be observed by your physician and nurses.
How do you feel? Very weak? No nausea?
Just when I stood up,
Yeah.
that's about it.
How do you feel in terms of the discomfort on the back?
The back's starting to feel better. I found just the right side to lay on to sleep, so back's starting to feel better.
Good. Good. Obviously, many people say when they move is when the pain comes.
Yes, when I stood up,
when
that
the
kind
discomfort
of,
comes.
yeah, that kind of was uncomfortable.
So standing up, sitting down, at the very beginning of the walk. Once you're walking, it's okay. How would you describe your pain right now or discomfort right now?
I'd say about 2 out of 10.
Okay.
It's a little achy, but that's about it.
We communicate in numbers, 0 being no pain, 10 the worst you ever had. On average, donors tend to locate the pain somewhere in the middle when they are moving and lower than that when they are resting. We do have several medications that are ordered for pain. The one that we use on a regular basis is Tylenol. And I usually recommend to take Tylenol regularly every 6 hours. And at night when you go to bed, you feel more conscious of your body, and that's when it bothers you to the point that you cannot go to sleep. So at that point, that's the moment to take this one.
Okay.
So the ones that we need to avoid are the ibuprofen, aspirin, Advil, those for 3 days. The reason why is because it can cause bleeding. And one of the things that you feel likely is stiffness. That stiffness has to do with the swelling that takes place before the healing. So the Advil, the ibuprofen, those work better. So after 3 days you can change. I will discharge you to the hotel or home if 3 things are in place. One is I see you walking well. The other one is if they are able to hydrate themselves. And the third one is if the discomfort is well controlled with oral medications.
Most donors stay in the hospital overnight, but some are discharged to the hotel or home the same day. Immediately after your procedure, your stem cells are rushed to the recipient in need of them.
Basically what we do is we prepare them to be picked up the same day to be taken to your recipient. And they will be taken by a person, a courier.
I have 1 bag for you and 1 tube.
Oh.
Your final declaration. You want to check these 2 numbers with yours?
Okay.
Make sure those are right.
I'm from Minneapolis. So, I answered the email, and I answered this email that brought me out here and is taking me to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. San Francisco, Nashville, Germany, France.
So basically the bone marrow of that recipient is at that point empty to receive your cells. Your cells are infused through a central catheter on the chest, and interestingly they know where to go, how to find his or her bone marrow and start producing your healthy blood in his body.
After 1 year has passed, then both the donor and the recipient have the opportunity to contact each other. And if both parties agree, then that is arranged.
The recovery time is anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks. Definitely, we recommend light duty for the two weeks. In that, we request not to lift any heavy objects more than 20 pounds. We do send a letter to your commander or to your employer. The other one is not to exercise for 2 weeks, and not to submerge the two sides underwater for 2 weeks.
If you experience any symptoms other than what the hospital staff discussed with you, call your medical team immediately. Remember, throughout the donation process, doctors and staff are available 24 hours a day to speak to you.
Definitely do it. It's 4 days of pain for somebody's life, so it's worth it.
It was a very rewarding experience, and I would do it again and again and again.
I have all these like cool gifts that I can just give to other people that I can regenerate again on my own.
On behalf of the transplant recipients and the Blood and Marrow Collection Program at MedStar Georgetown University Hospital, we thank you for agreeing to give someone the hope for the cure. This is a precious gift. Thank you.